Hey Weirdos, this is Evan Jarvix with Make Oklahoma Weirder, and this is your local music vlog for the week. It is Friday morning, March the 15th, the Ides of March, and let's get into it. I gotta say farewell to some people this morning. It is this weekend that a number of artists are choosing to have their sort of going away moments, and they aren't the only ones. There's others who are sort of planning ahead to jump ship, move out of state, and find a place that's just a better place to live, not just artistically, but just in general. I mean, Oklahoma definitely has its shortcomings, as we all know. And you know, I used to take it a little bit personally whenever people would leave. A lot of bands have kind of left and gone to like Nashville or New York or Seattle or Portland or whatever. We've lost a lot of great artists over time, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But I totally get it. I totally get it, and I wish everybody the best as they pursue their various artistic endeavors outside of the state. And there's a few people who are sort of having their public or semi-public going away moments this weekend. Kali Ra, if you don't know, is pretty much a one-man project that's highly collaborative, and so often gives the impression of a full band. But really, for me, Kali Ra is always David Goad, and David and his family are moving to California, and they're having a going away party this weekend. And David is a really class act, 100%, like, great artist, great person, great human, weird, and wonderfully so. Like, yeah, I came across Kali Ra a number of years back when we still had a venue called the Voodoo Lounge. I don't know if I've ever even told him this, but the Voodoo Lounge was kind of this underground, like literally underground, basement venue that was like just south of downtown. It was really cool. It was very, black light, decor, but lots of room, lots of seating, and it was never really packed whenever I went, the few times that I went, but I remember seeing Kali Ra multiple times there, and the venue really suited the project, especially as in those days he was a bit more physical, climbing on things. It gave him a lot of room to stretch as a frontman. So Kali Ra, if you don't know, kind of a post-punk inspired, David Bowie inspired project, who has kind of worn different hats over the years and has been gearing up towards a bit of a different sound and a different presentation on a new album called The Monarch, which is dropping later this year, but it'll be dropping out of California and not necessarily Oklahoma, since he is moving. But I do believe his music has more acceptance, I guess, out there than it does here. He's definitely worked so hard, played every venue imaginable, and he's gained some fans, but yeah, there's just a lot more potential for him out there. And I know that's a decision that he's put a lot of thought into. So David Goad, heading out soon. Also joining him is, not joining him, but we're also losing Garland, GWIZ, if you follow kind of more of the indie DIY garage stuff, formerly of a band called Acuba, which, was a big deal a couple years back. Ended up kind of transforming into a GWIZ personal project. So GWIZ, that's GWIZ, which is sometimes a DJ solo thing, sometimes a live band meets DJ performance. I know GWIZ has kind of been working on new stuff and kind of a new presentation. If you've ever seen a bass player with like a a television or like computer monitor styled head. GWIZ was one of the main stage headliners at Norman Music Fest last year. This is who I'm talking about, and she's moving to California as well, I believe. Knows a lot of people out there. There's a lot of in the past, GWIZ and Akiba have been collaborative with a lot of acts out of the state, because I think these projects have always been a little bit more online oriented than necessarily like grounded in a local music scene. And so have, there was a label, I forget what the label was called. Anyway, I want to remember the label name, but I can't right now. But anyway, there's a lot of connections out there, and so I know GWIZ is going to be great, fitting out there artistically and just personally, because there's a lot of issues here in Oklahoma that I won't go into necessarily. But GWIZ also saying sort of a farewell this weekend, and we will miss you, but once again, wish nothing but the best for you. And we've also got Abbigale Dawn and Bailey Gilbert. I'm not as familiar with Bailey, just because I haven't seen her on as many shows, haven't seen as many recordings, I guess. Just a name that I've seen here and there. But the both of them are having a farewell show at Bluebonnet. Abbigale Dawn, who has really come around here the past year or two. Really phenomenal singer-songwriter, who's also been working on some really cool band stuff. I saw Abbigale Dawn recently at the 51st Street Speakeasy, where she was trying out some new material, and it sounded a lot different. It sounded a lot more outside of that singer-songwriter box, with some pop elements that I really liked. So I know she's moving to Colorado, so I'm really excited to see how that manifests out there. And of course, being just 1 or 2 states away, I'm probably gonna be seeing her coming back through a bit more frequently. But we're also saying goodbye to Abbigale Dawn and Bailey Gilbert. So I've spent pretty much the whole time talking about these people. Also, I've written about these people. Abbigale Dawn was in my Big 50 last year. Akiba was in my Big 50 the first time I ever did it, back in 2016. And then David Goad, Kali Ra, who I've reviewed an album for, and whose music video made my top 5 this past year. So I'm going to play a couple seconds of a little tune here. I know I should promote local music, but I just wanted to play that song. If you don't know, that's Goodbye Moonman from the Rick and Morty show. Okay, I have like 1 minute to cover everything else, and I can't. Johnny Manchild has a new single out, part of his monthly single series. Check that out. Gabriel Knight Hancock, I want to shout out, has a brand new album. One of my favorite singer-songwriters, folk artists. It's excellent. If you've seen him live, these have a lot of his staple live songs finally on recording with kind of fuller arrangements, which is really nice. Also, Gabriel Knight Hancock is in a new band called Mola Mola, which also is a fuller treatment, but more of a band project, more of an artistic angle than just the Gabriel Knight Hancock kind of stripped song element. So you get 2 sides to his music, which is really cool. One's a bit more collaborative than the other. Lust is a band that's new, has like some who's who of the underground scene. Self-titled EP just dropped on Bandcamp. Lust has played a couple of house shows, a couple DIY shows, but hasn't really gotten out there yet. But the new stuff is good. Hurd on Hurd is happening this weekend with a really cool lineup that's put on by Tower. Totally varied. You got hip-hop, you got indie rock, you got some country in there. and I'm waiting to hear back, but I think Tower Showcase is gone. Anybody know about this?